This is the Modi Boxy. It was a Kickstarter where you can 3D print your own kind of army carrying case, and that's exactly what I did with this. And I'll give you guys an idea of how this journey was. It was not easy, but let's get into it. First, I had to print out all of these little pieces, these little boxes individually. There's a million parts. I mean, you get the files, you look at them, you look at the instructions, and it's like, what am I supposed to do? But after looking at the instructions, I realized I got to print these little pieces. You put them in those holes, and it makes the control arms, and the control arms are what moves the boxes around. But I had major issues because it wasn't just print and play. I couldn't just print it, and it didn't just like fit perfectly. That one was like the wrong size. And I basically had to do some experimentation, and I had to do some trial and error to try to figure out exactly what I was supposed to print. But the idea is you print these little mini tray holders for your minis, you put your minis in them, and then you put them in these boxes, and then they all stack up with each other. And it's actually a really cool idea. I figured if I could 3D print my own carrying case, I could custom make it the way that I want, and that's exactly what I did. So it was time to get a bunch of filament. I went through 2.5 rolls of filament of trying to experiment. Here's one of the situations where the thing doesn't go in the thing when it's supposed to, and then the thing isn't flush when it's supposed to be flush. I looked at every video, it's like it's supposed to be flush, it's not. Why is it not working? My fingers were hurting. So I just printed non-stop different pieces, trying to make them work. This one finally went through after I finagled with it in Cura. I dropped it down a few percentages, X, Y, Z, all kinds of. It's definitely not for novices. You see that little area, that little hole? I was supposed to get that flush. What I did was I took a screwdriver and I just basically He-manned it, and I was able to make the opening wide enough to put in the 3D printed parts. And once I got it down, I was like, all right, here we go. Let's put them together. Let's get these boxes. And then I realized that I completely put it together the wrong way. And so I had to take the whole thing apart, had to 3D print some pieces that broke. And I was like, all right, this isn't the way I wanted it to be. I wanted it all to lay flat and not be like these steps that anyway, I printed it the wrong way. And then this is the final product. This is it, the way I wanted it to be. 8 different sections. You can put your army in there, and then when you stack it together, it's a tower. All of them interconnected with each other. So we got there in the end. There was a lot of pain. My fingers are hurting. I spent like $60 on filament, but hey, we got there. It works. The product, I would say, the engineering is 100% great. I would say putting it together is not for novices though.